Elden Ring has too many weapons! But this time you'll hear what are the best and worst daggers. D tier. Elden Ring's worst dagger is easily the Ivory Sickle. Not only does it look stupid, it also sucks balls. Low damage and bad range wasn't enough, so rightfully they gave it split damage as well. Hey, but at least the tickle damage bypasses some of the enemy's shield, so good for the Ivory Sickle. C tier. The dagger is Elden Ring's most boring weapon. The damage is fine, I guess, but otherwise, you can forget this thing exists. Erdsteel Dagger is up next, and it's fine. Its one and only unique thing is that its heavy attacks look cool and are pretty good as well. Otherwise, it scales off of faith, dexterity, and strength. Thankfully, Miyazaki resisted the urge to put split damage on this weapon, since it only does physical. One big bonus for this weapon is that it looks so fucking clean. Crystal Knife. This weapon is pretty shite, but at least it looks kinda nice. Otherwise, I wouldn't ever touch this. B tier. Parrying Dagger. Despite this weapon doing shit damage and having piss poor range, it still manages to creep its way into B tier. Because, well, you can parry with it. It's not a very good parry, but holy shit does it look cool when you manage to parry with it. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, that feeling. Great Knife, but only because it has innate bleed on it and it looks like something Gordon Ramsay would use. Bloodstained Knife. Mostly the same as the Great Knife, but this does significantly more damage and scales better with strength. Celebrant Sickle. As a weapon it's fine, I guess, but the reason why I liked it so much is because it gives you 10 runes per enemy hit. Granted, that is basically nothing, but at least it's pretty funny. Yeah, that one. I like this dagger a lot, mostly because it looks cool and is wielded by the Beast Clergyman, who I absolutely hate. Its unique thing is that when it's equipped, it boosts bestial incantations by 10%. However, I would almost never use this because its Ash of War is quickstep, and you can't even change it because I don't know why. A tier. First one here is the Wakizashi. It's essentially a mini katana that deals good damage and has bleed. But the reason it's higher than the other bleed daggers is because you can power stance with this weapon with katanas. I don't know why you would do that, since a regular katana will always be better because they do more damage and have more range. But hey, at least you can roleplay as a ninja or whatever else you weep likes to gush about. Scorpion Stinger. This honestly kinda looks like a sharp ball sack, probably because of the hairs it has on it. Anyway, the only reason it's in A tier is because it has innate rot buildup, otherwise it's kinda shit. Blade of Calling. I don't see any reason to ever use this weapon when there is another dagger with the exact same Ash of War, only that does way more damage and has a more unique effect. However, since the Ash of War is already powerful enough and the damage is good, it deserves A tier. S tier. Misericorde or whatever. Yeah, it's only good because its critical multiplier is a whopping 140, which your riposte and backstabs deal a lot of damage. Otherwise, it's a low damage dagger that looks like a needle. Glintstone Kris. Finally an intelligent scaling dagger that is in total garbage. Pretty much the only reason why this weapon is so good is because it gets you an Ash of War that is insanely powerful. It's much like the Glintstone Pebble Ash of War, but this one is significantly more powerful because it can be charged. Damage wise the dagger is not that crazy, but it looks cool, so that's good enough. Reduvia. I've been trying to understand what this was supposed to be. Is it like a spine or something? Well, whatever, the weapon it does good damage, scales with arcane, and has a lot of bleed. The Ash of War is also really good for bleed buildup and damage. And Elden Ring's most powerful dagger is the Black Knife. Its Ash of War is the same as the Blade of Calling, however this version also drains HP, and lowers the enemy's max HP by 10%, which is pretty insane for a dagger. Damage wise it's about the same as the Blade of Calling for regular hits. Anyways, that's the video, like and subscribe, goodbye!